So when we start reading this question, given angle theta is in a standard position with its terminal arm in quadrant 4 and cos of theta equals 2/5. At this moment, okay, before we even get to the place where it says what question, I'm hoping already, since we've done so many of these in chapter 6 and chapter 7, you've already got a strategy in your mind for what you're going to do, even before we've asked the question. What kind of question is this? Well, not yet. I haven't read this part yet, right? I've read from here to here, and I'm hoping that it triggers something for you. What have we done every time we've had a question that has this kind of information? We've drawn a triangle, right? So when you're given this kind of information, our strategy over and over so far has been to draw a triangle with our reference angle so we can label things. It's most likely that that's going to be helpful again. So now it says determine the value of each ratio, sine 2 theta and cos 2 theta. So when we draw our triangle, here it is in quadrant 4, back to the nearest x-axis. This would be our reference angle. We know that cos is 2/5, so this is 2, this is 5, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and you could calculate this to be the square root of 21. Now in part A, we're asked to find sine 2 theta. In this case, we wouldn't solve it as a multi-revolution question because it's not sine 2 theta equals something solve, because that's what a multi-revolution question looks like. Instead, we could use this, our double angle identity. We know that sine 2 theta is equal to, and again, I want you to have these mostly memorized. 2 sine theta cos theta. Yes? Well, when I draw it on the triangle, I can draw it as square root of 21, just because I could say that that's its length. But if I list underneath here that cos of theta we already knew was 2/5, when I write what's the value of sine of theta, I do have to write the negative there because it's in quadrant 4. And that's going to become important because right here we can write things in. And just like we did before when we did our survey, remember, you don't know theta. You can't write sine root 21 over 5. Because negative root 21 over 5 is equal to all of sine. It's not just equal to the theta. So where the sine is in this formula, you write negative root 21 over 5. And where the cos is in this formula, write 2/5. Multiply our fractions, multiply our numerators, multiply our denominators. We're going to get negative 4 root 21 over 25. And that's going to be sine 2 theta. Now in B, in figuring out cos 2 theta, you have 3 different double angle identities for cos. You have cos squared minus sine squared, 1 minus 2 sine squared theta, and 2 cos squared theta minus 1. All 3 will work and give you the right answer. In a question like this, I would choose this one. Anybody know why? Why would that one be a slightly better choice?
Because the question gives you cos of theta, so if you made a mistake on sine of theta, you don't have to use that.
Right. The question gave us cos of theta. We know this is right. You're pretty sure your math teacher didn't make a mistake in this, but there is a possibility that when I did a squared plus b squared equals c squared, I could have made a mental error and had an answer off a little bit. And if I use 2 cos squared theta minus 1, I don't have to use that sine value. And so if I made a small mistake, it wouldn't matter for figuring this out. But if you used any of the other two formulas have sine squared in it. So if you did make a mistake, that mistake would show up. So we get equals 2. Now, cos squared theta. Well, we know cos of theta is 2/5, so cos squared of theta will be 2/5 squared minus 1. And if we multiply this out, we get 4 over 25 times 2 will be 8 over 25 minus 25 over 25 to get a common denominator. And we get negative 17 over 25. What are you going to add as part C? We know that theta is in quadrant 4. In what quadrant is 2 theta? Who really cares, right? Now next year, in your IB classes, you'll learn special IB math words, instruction words like hence. Hence means that the answer to your question can be found by looking at the answers to your previous 2 questions or your previous question. So hence, in what quadrant is 2 theta? Quadrant 3. Why is it in quadrant 3? Because both sine 2 theta and cos 2 theta are negative. So the only place where both sine and cos are negative would be in quadrant 3. All right, for practice, question number 9.